Well, hello there. I'm not sure if there's anyone in the stream yet. Well, while I'm just waiting for people to get into the stream, I meant to get up and running a few minutes early. Guess what? It's changed since I last did a live stream, and it took me a while to work out what to do. But I think I'm up and running. I have somebody in right now by the looks. So if you can hear me, anyone that's out there, if you can hear me, please let me know. Ha! Mark's in. Nice to see you, Mark. Well, I better start. Oh no, that's the water. Got the wrong one. Oh well. A quick sip of the water. That is water. It's not gin or anything like that or vodka. It's plain old H2O. So what are we going to do tonight? Well, whilst I was living in America, when the microbreweries first started up, some of the best go-to beers were IPAs. So I thought tonight we'd try some IPAs. And I've been reading up on this one, which I was going to start off with the proper job. And I noticed that it is, well, it's a US style, definitely a West Coast style IPA because it's got mosaic hops in it and cascade hops. And there was another hop I'd never heard of before, but they're all from the US apparently, all the hops that are in this beer. So it's definitely going to be a US style beer. I have drunk it before, but it was a while ago, and I can't really remember my reaction to it. So it'd be nice to try it again. But I'll just see what comments we got popping up here before I open one up. Good evening, Sean. Good evening, Dave. Hear you loud and clear. That's all good. Nice that I can be heard. Otherwise, I've been here before talking to myself and nobody can hear me. Actually, I put some more lights up so there's a bit better illumination. It might be too bright now, but I'll go with it. At least it's not quite so hazy. So let's start off with the proper job, shall we? As that was the order I did them in the preview. It's always back to front, isn't it? My Guinness bottle opener, and that was given to me by a Guinness rep when I was living in America. Try not to bang it down so it doesn't go clashing through the sound system. I'm using the little glasses again tonight, just because they take up less room on the little side table I've put up. Let's pour this, see what we can make out of it. It's light in colour, which is not surprising, seeing it is a West Coast style IPA, I'm pretty sure of. Not too much carbonation, which I'm quite pleased with. I don't like overcarbonated beers. It's holding a head there. I would call that a golden colour. Yeah. Definitely got a hoppy nose. Oh, yes, that's definitely a West Coast style IPA. It's got that sort of piney, citrusy, grapefruity sort of flavour to it. Very, very strong notes of hops on the back. Yeah, I sort of went off this style of beer for a while, but I find it quite easy to drink. It's refreshing. I think they're a little stronger in the bottles than they are on draft. It's quite refreshing. David with his jokes already. It's always nice to see some jokes going on in the chats. It's almost impossible to tell jokes these days, isn't it? I've got into trouble for them before. But yeah, let's see what we can find out about this, shall we? Right, it says an authentic IPA packed full of citrus flavors. Proper Job is a big, bold, and strong beer with a crisp, bitter finish, perfect for pairing with what's that say? Oh, full flavored dishes. Okay. Ingredients: water, malted barley, hops, and yeast. Well, it's nice to see there's nothing else, no rubbish in it. It doesn't tell you what hops, but I did look it up earlier somewhere. Oh, what was I doing? I was doing something online. Oh, I know what I wanted to say because I didn't have the bottles to hand, and I wanted to see what the strength was, and it's 5.5% in the bottle. And I noticed if you buy it on draft, it's 4.5%. They do one another. It's not called Proper Job. It's called Big Job or something like that. No, probably not right, is it? Uh, anyway, it's something like that. It's a strong one of this. It's 7.5%, I believe. It's yeah. This is oh dear. So I don't drink gassy beers normally. I don't normally drop when I'm out. You may have noticed when I did the Beerstream from the Bridge Inn it brewed, I was drinking cask conditioned ales, which aren't CO2 pressured. They're just natural fermentation gases in them. And that's why I don't drink this type of beer so often, because the belchy problem. Let's catch up again over here, shall we? Well, Dave, 5.50 for a pint of beer. Yeah, that's yeah, it's a bit strong. Oh, good evening, Jordan. Oh, Big Job, there it is. It is Big John. Ruben, of course, is well into the. He actually was the first person ever to introduce me to Proper Job, and he bought me a bottle of this. That's got to be 3 years ago now, and the rest, hasn't it? When you come up and visited me just after the lockdown, so I had a little trip on the boat. Yeah, there's some strong IPAs out there. I don't know what I've got here tonight. This is 5.5, and it's bottled conditioned. So they tell you not to over pour it, so you don't, in case there's any sediment in the bottom. This is Old Empire here, and this is 5.7% alcohol, according to the label here on the back and on the front, I say, which I've drunk. And that's actually one of my favourite IPAs over here, I must admit. I've had that on draft a few times. And here's one I've never seen before, Dorset IPA. And this one is a bold West Coast style IPA. So it's, yet again, it's a West Coast style IPA with a citrusy edge. But anyway, let's get back to the one in hand. What do I think of it? As a West Coast style IPA, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Yeah, and I think that yeah, that's 7.5 to 8. It's okay. It does lose its flavour a little quick. and it goes that real hoppiness on the back right too quickly. But that is not unusual with a West Coast style IPA in the US. Now, this is going to be completely different to this one, which is more of a English style IPA. One of my favourite IPAs I ever drank was called Dr. Duncan's IPA. I don't think it's around anymore. I haven't seen it in years. That used to be one of my favourite IPAs, and it was quite a dark IPA. Actually, it was well, a lot darker than this. It's more of a what would be called an amber beer today, I guess. That is going down quite nicely. Going back and Brewdog Punk IPA. Yeah, I've had Brewdog Punk IPA. It's I don't know. I think it's nice on a hot summer's day. I'm not sure about drinking it this time of the year. Well, porters. I'm a porter drinker, as most people know. I like my porters and stouts. They're my go-to beers. If I'm out and there's a porter or stout on, besides Guinness and things like that, because you can get them anywhere, I will always get the dark beer. Oh, and I actually had the other day. I said the other day. Now it's 3 months ago when I was at Middlewich. They had a black IPA, a black rye IPA on, and that was absolutely delicious. Now, I'd only ever once before had a black rye IPA, and that was in the US, and that was also delicious, but I can't remember who made it. No, can't remember. This is going down quite nicely. But if I was on bitters, I don't mind a good bitter. Well, there you go. Dr. Duncan's was brewed by the. Is it still around, Dave? Do you know? No beer is served at room temperature. Ales are served at cellar temperature, and cellar temperature would be was around 40 degrees Celsius normally, something like that, 40 to 45 Celsius. Where chilled beers are normally around about sorry, yeah, Celsius. No, that's not right. It's Celsius. I'm trying to turn it into Fahrenheit for my American viewers. There's a lot of American viewers in at the moment. Your chilled beers are normally between 30, depending how strong they are, and 34 degrees Fahrenheit. The weaker ones can't be quite as cold because they freeze, but some of the stronger beers will go down to about 30. And I was told that by the Budweiser. No, one of the Budweiser. It was the one of the reps over in the US. One of the popular beers, Miller Lite or Miller. The Miller rep told me that. Yeah, 10 and 12C. That's about right. Yeah, I was trying to convert it over. I was trying to do my head to Fahrenheit. Yeah, it wasn't working very well. Keynes has responded a couple of reopened a couple of years back. Sorry, mine. I wish I could change the font size in the. It's funny because I point this way and it's over this way, which is I'm pointing to the opposite side now to where the where I can see the chat. If I point towards the chat, my fingers are going the wrong way to where the chat is. Yeah. What we got here? Lagers and ciders go in the fridge. Beer don't. Yeah, I agree. Well, it depends on the beer. Um, Actually, some of these IPAs are actually slightly better chilled. I find. I think. Well, ales should never go in the fridge. Ales definitely don't go in the fridge. But anything that's got CO2 in it, I don't mind drinking a little chilled. They just it seems to. I don't know. It seems to be a little bit better that way. Ales definitely don't put in the fridge. There's some sacrilege. And if you do put them in the fridge because you think you need to put them in the fridge to keep them, take them out for a good half an hour before you drink them. That's what I'd say. Yes, 24 people in the crowd. Thank you for the thumbs up. And if you want to enjoy it, give me a thumbs up. That always goes down very, very well. It helps the old YouTube algorithm. Thank you very much. Hello, Willie. Thank you for joining me. A screwdriver walks into a pub. Landlord says, "We've got a drink named after you." What, Philip? I'll tell you what, there is a drink named after me. I think I've told you that story before. Well, I've nearly finished that glass full of beer. We have, what have we got here? We got Willie, we got Jordan, we got Lee, which is Anfield Road, we got Dave, and we've got German Shepherd, which was, you did tell me your name, didn't you, earlier? We got Nick Evans. Hi, Nick. Miss you. Come in. Mike Hurley. Ruben. Let's see what else we got. Seeing who's in the chat here, and of course, we have the Schwartz. There's a shadow there, isn't there? It's coming shadowing off my nose. Oh well. Right, I'm going to finish this one up, and we're going to try another one. When I say I'm going to finish this one up, I still have half a bottle to go. But that's after we've tasted the all three. Before I taste the other one, next one, a little slurp of water. One of the reasons why I don't drink all the whole bottle at once while I'm doing this, there's a few reasons. The main reason is if I was to drink all three bottles, I'd be running to the toilet every 30 seconds and I wouldn't be doing the live stream. And also, I don't want to get too sozzled before I finish. And also, I think if you don't drink too much of one, you can get more of a feel for the next beer. Right, so here we go. We've got the Old Empire here. I say this comes in at 5.7% alcohol. Read it there. And we'll get a clean glass, so there's no contamination between the two of flavours. This contains more CO2, I can tell you that straight away by the way it's pouring. Slightly darker than the last one, I'd say. Not much in it though. Not holding the head as long. Although there seems to be more CO2 when I poured it. The head's broken down quite quickly there. Nice flow of bubbles coming up though. Of course, these glasses do not have the widget in the bottom. You see, that is much more a type of IPA that I like. It's much maltier. I think it's got a better balance of flavours. The proper job, don't get me wrong, I think on a hot summer's day, having that slightly chilled works. It's lighter, it's got a crisper feeling, it's got that sort of grapefruity sort of summer vibe to it. It's a bit lighter and actually, I think, works on a hot summer's day quite well. Now, this, I think, is more rounded. It's got a lot more malt in it. And that is very, very easy drinking. Yes, no wonder I like this one. Yeah. So far, out of the two, that one is my favourite. Personal choice, of course. Everybody else is probably completely different. What got in here? I had a pint of proper job on. Oh, yeah, Albie. Yeah, I've gone back to the top and I've got to get back to the bottom. So I scrolled up on the chat to read all the different names everybody in watching, or at least it's been on chat. And I John Hux. Hello, John Hux. And I missed out. Right, what have we got? German Shepherd had a poo on my lawn yesterday, and he had his dog with him. Alcohol, because no good story ever started with a salad. The salad walks into a, yeah, right, mate. It doesn't work. Reason we like beer is because you can't drink bacon. I'll go with that one. Actually, I for dinner tonight. I actually had a bacon sandwich. Because I had quite a large lunch. I made a chicken and vegetable curry for lunch, which I cooked on the stove my wood burner. Very tasty it was too. Bacon sandwich, well, you can't go wrong, can you? I thought I wasn't really hungry. But I thought if I don't have something else to eat, I had lunch quite early actually. I had about noon, and I thought it was about 6 o'clock. I thought, well, I don't have something else to eat now. By the time I finish doing this, I'm probably going to be a bit tipsy. So I thought I'd better have something to eat to sort of soak some beer up with, if you know what I mean. Because I might not drink all the beers while I'm filming or online, but I can guarantee you I'll finish them all off later. So I have to lean forward every time because I say I can't read. Hello, Elaine. Oh, it's Martin. Well, Martin, I have another one done. It's shall I say you guys are in here? I'll give you. Yeah, I'll let you guys in here know what I've done, and it should be out. It's already up on. It's already loaded up. And it's just sat there, and now I've got it there ready to put out. It's a vegetable soup. I made the vegetable soup. It was basically a roots vegetable soup, and I wanted to show that you could make. Well, I cooked it on the stove top, of course, on my stove. And well, I actually, I think I titled it "One for the Carrot Crunchers and Lettuce Munchers." Well, as you probably all know, I'm not a vegetarian nor a vegan. And I did notice the proper job said suitable for vegetarians and vegans, and I thought, well, that just means it hasn't been filtered, because I don't know if you know, when beer gets filtered, they use fish scales in it. So then, of course, it can't be vegan. That's just a little bit of useless information. But yeah, so anyway, this beer is going down very well. And the soup, yeah, it's going to be, well, Saturday's video that I'm bringing out this Saturday brings me up to almost where I've done an off the cut video. And the off the cut video, I'll give you even more away. See, all you people that are in here supporting me tonight, I'll give you a little bit more information. The off the cut video is, I've forgotten the name of the place now. I always get mixed up with another one that sounds very similar. Market Drayton. I wanted to say Market Harbour, but I knew it wasn't Market Harbour. It's Market Drayton. And I walked around there, and there's a little off the cut video there. And Saturday's video gets me almost there. I'm about a mile short of Market Drayton. So the following Saturday's video will be getting to Market Drayton and going through. So then the following Wednesday's video, I will put up the off the cut of Market Drayton. Is it a sort of tie-in after I've passed there, which, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's trying to work them all out, you know. I've edited it. I edited that video probably 4 weeks ago. So yeah, it's sort of trying to keep them all into sort of some sort of alignment. My mum told me, obviously, because when I did the walk around Chester was before I even got there. So she said it's all out of sequence and you've got to fix it. So I'm trying to. Not easy, you know, when you. So that's why I did some cooking videos to get them all back in again. And the cooking videos actually have gone down very well this time. A couple of years ago, when I did a few cooking videos, they were a complete flop. I hardly got any views on them, and I lost a lot of subscribers over them. So that's why I stopped doing them. But I know people have been asking me about doing more cooking videos, so that's why I brought them back again. And in the wintertime, it's a yucky day outside. It's nice just to do something. I'm not sure what's going to be next. I'm going to do a few, but with Christmas coming up, I've got a few things I've got to do. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, this be waffling. Trevor would be the worst vegetarian ever. You're completely right. I would be. Yeah, I would. Sorry, my eyes watering. Yeah, It's not I don't like vegetables, and I can categorically tell you I eat vegetables all the time. But I think a well-balanced meal has to contain meat, and that's just me. So, doctor told me not to drink beer every day, so I drank beer every night now. So, is this class as nighttime? It's dark outside. Oh, that's going down well. That is very enjoyable. What have I missed out here? I know it's been going up. I had Old Tom on cast this year in the Hollybush, Bollington. Well, I've been in the Hollybush at Bollington. Actually, I've been in, I think, nearly every pub in Bollington. I tell you what, I did like at Bollington. I walked to the brewery, and they have their tap room, and it's quite odd because of all the pubs that are being closed down these days and being even turned into residents or knocked down, blocks of flats being built, and all this stuff going on. The Bollington Brewery, they bought 2 old cottages and converted them into their tap room. So it's a bit of a change around. I thought I rather liked that one. I really did. And it's a lovely little walk down to there, and not such nice to walk back up all those bloody steps up to. I was moored up, not not which is the mill, not Clarence Mill, the other one. I can't remember now. Anyway, so I had to walk up I walked up all those steps, and there's a lot of steps going back up by that by the aqueduct there, especially if more than one beer. Thank you, Andrew. Well, I hadn't mentioned you before in here, but thank you, Andrew. Yeah, I will continue with some cooking videos. They're a nightmare to film, but they're very easy to edit. And why I say they're a nightmare to film is because if you miss something, you don't get it quite right, there's no second takes. It's first take or no take. So that's why cooking videos are a little bit, and not if I do many second takes anyway, but I do sometimes, when I'm talking live to the camera, I'm cruising along, I might occasionally use a word I shouldn't use. So I do retake it in a manner of effect. I don't stop the camera rolling. I just say it again, and then cut out the bit I shouldn't have said. Or I try to keep within the YouTube guidelines, so I get. I'm a small channel, so the monetization I get is really, really helpful. So I don't really want to lose any of the monetization I do get, and they're playing around with the monetization at the moment as well. If you start seeing more ads than you expect to see, because I normally only put ads in at the start and the finish. That's not me. That's YouTube adding ads. If I see them in there, I can go in and take them out, but I've got to see them there first. I've got to remember to go in now and take the mid-roll ads out, because I didn't realise it was putting them in, and I've noticed there's a few videos have gone through and they've been put in. Well, now they're some of them were 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I haven't bothered to take some of those old ones out because hardly anyone's going to watch them now anyway. You get your big influx of all my regular viewers watching within the first few days or first day normally, and then it pieces off quite quickly. So yeah, I'm sorry if you got more ads than you expected. I will try and remember to take them out, but it doesn't seem to put them in straight away when you first upload the video. It's not until they do something with it and they seem to go in. And I don't know what they're doing, but obviously, for the peanuts they pay me at the ad revenue, they're obviously wanting more and more and more. You know what I mean? So yeah, but I have been trying to take out all the mid-roll ads, but if you get them, I apologise. And let me know actually, because I can then remember to go. If you put in a comment, I'll remember to go in and take them out. Thank you. Smash the like button. Yes, lots of people have. There's 12 up there that you have smashed the like button. Thank you very much. Hey, you couldn't have been watching adverts for half an hour when I first went live, because I didn't hit the go live until 70, whatever it is. Yes, was it 1959. Yeah, we're at 2034 now. Yeah, because there's another thing they've changed. You see, the last time I did the live stream, and the last 3 live streams I've done, they've changed the format in the live stream when you go in, and there's something new in there every time. So I actually went to go live about 5 minutes before 8 o'clock to set it up, put it all in, load in the thumbnail and all that, and it's all changed. So you're having to read what to do as you go down. And yeah, it's fairly obvious and fairly straightforward, but there's changes in there, so it's not click, 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 click like it used to be. You have to. Oh yeah, that's that. Okay. Do I want this? Do I want that? No? Okay. And it's like mid-roll ads now for live streams. Now I think I clicked not to put them in, but it seemed to say that it could still put them in for some people. I don't know. I don't know. of like button press. Thank you. Well, yes, they are. I say worth. They're not worth a few bob. I think um, if it's a skippable ad and you skip it, I get 1/10 of a penny roughly. Depends on the ads, or a little bit less. Some of them you get about. Trying to work out. But if it's a non-skippable ad and you watch, well, obviously you have to watch or leave. Um, it's about twice as much. But the skippable ads, if it's a long one, like over 5 minutes, which some of them are, and I don't blame anyone for skipping, I can assure you. I actually had one come up the other day, and I noticed there's a 34-minute ad on a channel I was watching. I thought, who's going to sit there and watch a 34-minute ad, especially when the video was 7 minutes long that you're going to watch after it? Absolutely crazy. Anyway, it depends on the length of the ad, I think, to how much revenue you get. And I can't work it out. It's all over the place. I can tell you for every 1,000 views I get about 4 to 5 quid. So that's basically what I get for every 1,000 views, between 4 and 5 quid. So I'm certainly not making fortunes doing YouTube. I've actually, people say, "Oh, your channel's growing. You must be making hundreds of pounds every month." No, I make about £30 a month on YouTube ad revenue. Fortunately, I have some fantastic people out there. Of lots are in the chat tonight that support the channel as well, and that's what really keeps me going. Buying things like SD cards. My GoPro, this wind muff I bought, that was from money. As I put all the money I get into a separate account, so that actually goes to buying new stuff for the channel. I need to get another one of these. So I've ripped it, but they're not too expensive. But yeah, I think because if you need to change the battery or anything, you have to I peel it off and sort of flip up the side here, and the battery's in here. And I think keep peeling it back and all that all the time like that. It's torn it over here. I might be able to put a spot of super glue on it, but it's lasted 3 months, and it was about a fiver. So, and it's made a huge difference to recording. The video I did this morning for advertising this video, I know there was a little bit of wind noise on it. I think it may be because the wind was getting in behind there a little bit. But it is, or was, blowing a gale out there this morning. I mean, it was really, really windy. It was not nice. But I wanted to record it outside rather than inside. I just thought it was canal on the side there. It was a better recording. And I was only out there for 2 minutes doing the recording. Only watched Trev for the ads. I don't blame you. I wouldn't watch me either. Yeah, I understand people going YouTube Premium, no more ads. I must admit, for a long time, I had an ad blocker, and it worked for years. The ad blocker worked for years, but now you can't seem to have ad blockers on YouTube. They've caught up with it, and if you have an ad chopper, if you had an ad blocker now on YouTube, they after three, they sort of give you 3 strikes, and you can't watch any videos anymore until you either disconnect the ad blocker or whatever. So, but I was running an ad chopper. I need some more beer. I did have an ad blocker, but it's not fair really on other people's I watch. But a lot of the time I was just watching short clips and all that sort of thing. And if you're only watching short clips, you're a bit of a pain. But I'll put up with them. I'm not going to go premium. Actually, if you go premium, your premium revenue, I still get a pittance out of that when you pay. It's like um, doing shorts. Although I don't believe there's any ads ran on shorts. Out of certain other aspects, like premium, you get you get a penny or whatever. Well, not even a penny, a point, whatever, penny or whatever per view. But it's where it's hard to work out. I'm not quite sure where it goes. And I would do more shorts actually. But the camera on my phone um is not very. The phone I looked at buying another camera the other day and I thought I just can't afford it. I was looking on Temu. I thought, oh, see if I can get a cheap phone on there because you have to use a phone to do shorts. If I film on this and then try and even filming this way up, so because it has to be a portrait for shorts, and when you try to upload it, it won't put it into a shorts file. It'll only want to put it into your regular file. I mean, it's the format it's uploads in. Because when you upload, you have to upload directly from your phone, and it goes into it's different. Anyway, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know enough about shorts to tell you exactly how it works, but I do know that it'd be nice. I did think about buying another camera just so or another phone, so I'd have a decent camera on a phone. But I was looking at Temu, and the cheapest one I could come up with was about 140 quid, and that was not happening. And I don't even know how good that was, but I don't know half these cameras these days. First says your mother-in-law has just died. Do you want her embalmed, buried, or cremated? I said, take no chances. Give her the lot. Got much planned for Christmas? I shall be doing for Christmas what I've done every year since I've been back in the UK. I'm going to my parents for Christmas. I will be there for a few days. Hopefully, my brother will pick me up and bring me back. That's why this time of the year I head this way. My parents live in Wellingborough, so that's why I try and get a little bit closer. And I'll end up somewhere between Coventry, probably, and Braunston or somewhere like that, where my brother will come and pick me up and take me to my parents and bring me back after a couple of days. I'm not going to say too much where I'm going to be moored, actually. I have already decided where I'll be moored. It's not that I don't trust anyone that's in the chat at the moment, because I pretty much know all your names in there. You're all regulars. It's someone watches the video later and I say I'm going to be moored up at I don't know, Timbuktu for 4 days at Christmas. You're asking for trouble, aren't you? Leaving your boat on the side of the canal. So that's another reason why this time of the year I'm quite a long way behind on my videos. So people really don't know exactly where I am. So much goes on, boats getting broken into these days. I just try and take every precaution I can. But yeah, parents for Christmas. Just trying to catch up here again. I do shorts with my dog, quick 15-20 seconds ones, but I'm still under 1,000 subs, so I'm not monetized, and the vids are crap, to be honest. Well, I'm not saying mine are any good, but fortunately, all you guys watch it, so obviously I'm probably worth entertainment value. Hurry up, Trev, waiting for the adverts. Yeah, I must admit, I quite like most of it. I'm sort of going with Willie's comment here. Long format. I did try last year doing daily videos, and it was when I was up on the Macclesfield Canal, that is where Bollington is, and up on the Peak Forest Canal. In the internet up there was very patchy, and where I did get internet was not particularly fast. So I went over to doing like 5 or 6 minute videos daily, and keeping them sort of staggered up. Um, and to be honest with you, they didn't get an awful lot of views. Um, since I've been doing slightly long, most of my videos now are over 20 minutes long. The cooking ones are a little bit different. Some are up around that sort of time, but a couple are a bit shorter. And the off the cut ones are as well, because you can only film what's there. I'm not going to, what I won't do is fill up the video with waffle. I know some people, and I've watched some people's videos, and it seems like they have. I've got to make it 20 minutes long, and maybe 10 minutes of waffle. I just try and put content in what I'm thinking about at the time. I don't just waffle on about one thing for 20 minutes. You know what I mean? That's the way I like to do it. Yeah. So, but I've been trying to make the Saturday videos at least 20 minutes long just lately. Although saying that, I don't think this Saturday's is, and I can just check that quickly. I'm just looking at. Oh, no, stop! I don't want that. I mean to play a video. I'm just looking back on my channel here. I'm just going to go to my videos, and where are we? Oh, come back to where's my live stream? There it is. And I've just looked it up. It's 19 minutes and 8 seconds long, so it's not quite the 20 minutes. Excuse me. But it was a good place to stop. So that's why. Oh dear, I need a drink. So it's around that 20 minutes length. And since I've been doing 20-minute videos, they seem to get more views. So I've been trying to keep them around that 20 minutes to 30-minute time period. As I say, this one's just slightly under. It was a lot longer actually. That's edited down from, I think it was 68 minutes it started off at. So that's how much content you got out of 68 minutes I filmed. But you got to remember quite often, because I have to do everything, you know, I'm moving about, I'm filming, I'm trying to set up cameras, and sometimes I leave the camera running in a position to film something, and I walk off the boat, go away, come back, and all this. So I'm not going to just put the whole content in, which most of it's absolutely useless. There's nothing being shown, so I cut all the other out. So I sometimes have clips 5 or 6 minutes long, or even longer, and I only use 10 seconds out of them. But it's the way you have to edit it all and whatever. Anyway, that glass is empty. So another one on the table. That's a little side table I've got here. Another. Oh, there's more than half a beer there to drink. Another clean glass. And we're on to the Dorset IPA. This is the weakest one of them all. This is only 5% alcohol, according to the thingy on the back. I always turn it the wrong way because it's always weird when you do it. There we go. Yeah, all of these beers I actually bought in Aldi 2 or 3 days ago when I was in. I'll tell you where I was 2 or 3 days ago. I was in Atherstone, and I was in there, and I bought. They didn't have much choice of IPAs, and I'd already decided I was going to do IPAs. And this was the cheapest out of the three. This was £1.49, and the other two were £1.69. And I happened to be on Tesco website earlier, and I see the proper job on Tesco is £1.89 according to their web page. So obviously 20p cheaper than Aldi. So anyway, let's try this Dorset IPA, shall we? This is slightly paler again than the Marstons. So it's more of the colour of the proper job. Similar carbon dioxide content. Bubbling's quite similar. Head's going off. Oh, can't see it from there, can you? Head's going off quite quickly. It's very citrusy. This is definitely a West Coast style IPA. That's quite interesting, actually. Let's see what that says on the bottle about that. Know your limits. Oh, that's a stupid thing to read, isn't it? Drink responsibly. Another stupid thing to read. I don't tell you much about the beer. A hoppy, fruity ale, best served chilled. That's all it says. Actually, it says on the front here, a hoppy, fruity ale that's best served chilled to the bone. Bottled in the UK in partnership with Hall and Woodhouse. A bold West Coast style IPA with a citrusy edge. Now, it's not as hoppy as the proper job. And I would say that this has got mosaic hops in it rather than the citrus hops. The citra, no, they didn't have citra. What's the proper job having it? What's the proper job having it? Well, I'm trying to the when I'm losing. Oh, it doesn't say on there. I've got my yeah. Anyway, it's nowhere near. It's a little bit of maltiness to it. Hmm. Yeah, that's quite easy drinking actually. So that was 20p a bottle cheaper than the other ones. Okay, it's only 5% alcohol, and the others are 5.5 and 5.7. But it's one that actually sits completely between the other two. The Marston's is it's probably the least of the hoppy. It's got more of a malty bit to it. The proper job is definitely the hoppiest. And a Dorset IPA, well, that's sits somewhere in the middle. It's quite interesting. Quite drinkable though. And I've seen the scrolling up here on the side, so I will catch up again. Oh, Narrowboat Precious Jet. Hello there, Narrowboat Precious Jet. I will be contacting you. Well, he not only brews beer, ah, made some mead as well, I understand. Or am I wrong? Filmed a bit of pubs and beers on the Mackie. Had a great time. I like the Mackie actually. I did actually go onto the Mackie this year. Didn't do much of it. Where did I go to? I went up to Congleton, just past Congleton, and turned around just after going across the place where everybody stops on the embankment there, which overlooks the valley. That's absolutely beautiful there. It's a great place to stop. Although I couldn't get one of the best of moorings, I had the tree straight in front of me, so I had to walk onto the embankment a little bit to see. But yeah, I like the Mackie. I did plan on doing the whole Macclesfield again this year. When I was up at Sale, just outside Manchester, my original plan was to carry on up onto the whatever I forget the names of the blooming canals now. Anyway, wherever it is, onto the Peak Forest and back down the Mac. Well, that's when the Marple Lock Flight got shut down forever. Well, it's probably going to be a year anyway. So, anyway, of course, I couldn't do it that way. So I came back down the Bridgewater, and that's how come I went to Runcorn, because then I had enough time to go to Runcorn. And I didn't think I had enough time to go to Runcorn when I went up, because I thought I was going to run out of time before I come off the Bridgewater, only being allowed there on there for the 7 days, or whatever it is. So that's how come I ended up not going on the Mac, but then I came all the way back down. I was already been on the Weaver, I think. No, has I been on the Weaver? Yeah, I've already been on the Weaver. I've done the Weaver. Yeah, because I went on the Weaver, came back up, went back down to Middlewich. That's where I picked up my new batteries for the boat, turned around again, and then went back up. Oh, and then I ended up by turning around again and coming back down to Middlewich again. And this time I came from Middlewich and I carried on to Kidsgrove. And I went from Kidsgrove up the Mac for a few days, turned around, came back down, and then came back down the well, they call it Heartbreak Hill, the Cheshire Locks, as it should be called, again. So I did the Cheshire Locks 3 times this year. There's only 30 odds of them, aren't there? And then I went back onto the Middlewich branch, as you probably remember, and then down the Shroppie down to Chester, turned around, come back up the Shroppie, and that's where I still am, of course, according to my videos, although I'm nowhere near the Shroppie anymore. A certain person in the chat is still here. Jordan knows where I am roughly. Actually, I think he knows exactly where I am, because I did tell him earlier on today when he texted me. Another bag of oak. That's always a nice one to have. What's your favourite boat and channel, Trev? There's a few I watch. A favourite one? Well, I watch Narrowboat Precious Jet all the time. I watch Kevin on Country House Gent quite regular. Others come and go all the time. I don't know what it is. I watch a few of someone, and then I don't know. I'll tell you what makes me watch some videos sometimes. Another person I watch sometimes is the Mindful Narrowboat. Yeah, Vanessa. Anyway, Steve, I watch, of course, Narrowboat Precious Jet. But there's a few I watch here, there, and everywhere. But if I'm going somewhere and they're doing videos on somewhere I'm going, sometimes I will watch them just to see if they pick up on something I might miss otherwise. Something that's not quite obvious. So it gives me a little bit of an insight sometimes to what I might film. I try and give it a different angle to what they're filmed at, or different intake of it. But it sometimes gives you ideas of what might be there for filming, especially if I've never been there before. Yeah, Timbuktu. I said I could be. No, yeah, I did. Yeah, I said I'm in Timbuktu. Yeah, that's right. I think I did. But yeah. Anyway, I'm not in Timbuktu. Jordan knows exactly where I am because I texted him this. Well, he texted me and I texted him. I told him where I was, and I told him where I would be, and probably tomorrow, if not the next day, because we're going to meet up for a pint. And if Steve's listening, Perhaps you'd like to meet up for a pint in the same place, Steve. That's a bit of a giveaway for some people. And it's a place where we've had a pint before, Steve. Yeah, for a pint soon, Trevor, and I'll have to take you to a decent brewery. I think you'd like it there. Oh, well, I'll always go to a decent brewery. Actually, if it's the non-boating channels, I actually watch more non-boating channels than I watch boating channels. When I lived in the US, I was fixated with every boating channel there was. I watched every single one there was. But then when I came back and bought my own boat, I guess because you're doing it yourself now, I don't watch so many boating channels. It's not. I watch nearly everybody, but I don't watch them every time. If you know what I mean. Well, number one, I just don't have the time. Literally, people say, "Oh, well, you're living on a narrowboat. You must have loads of time." You got to be kidding me, especially this time of the year. I just spent the last 2 days collecting firewood and sawing it up and everything. 2 solid days doing that. I spent today. I recorded that silly little video for this morning. Edited that, uploaded that. While that was uploading, I was started editing Saturday's video because I hadn't got Saturday's video done yet. And I had spent all day until about 4 o'clock editing Saturday's video when I hit the upload button. So that is uploading. And yeah, and meanwhile, I've cooked some lunch and trying to do that while I'm doing different bits and pieces. Time flies by. But, and I haven't even moved the boat today. Well, it's peeing down with rain this morning, wasn't it? Wet and windy. I wasn't going anywhere. Anyway, I think I'm getting all behind on here. Sort of interesting. Yeah, I used to watch Dan all the time on Sort of Interesting, I must admit. It's probably the first YouTube channel I ever watched. But I don't know, I think because he hardly ever moves about anywhere, it's always the same area. I've sort of lost a bit of interest. I think he's a great lad, don't get me wrong. And he does great editing. Got good content, really. It's just always the same places, and I've seen them all. I've been up there, done it, seen them again, go there. And I've got a good memory, so I remember when he's been past somewhere. I thought that was in the video you did 3 weeks ago, something like that. I noticed the other day when I watched one of his videos again, it was moored outside the lake. What's it called? Not Windermere. That's up in Lake District. Ellesmere. It's more that by Ellesmere Lake again. So you do sort of think, oh, I'm moored there. Adverts are coming, Karen. Just join the. Just join. Hello, Claire. If not, why not? Well, I'll tell you why not, Claire. Because I've so far drunk 2 8-ounce water glasses of beer. This one's still there. And this one's still there, right by the label there. And this one's still full up to there. But afterwards, or if I'm still chatting, I will finish them all. That's no doubt about it. I'm quite enjoying that Dorset IPA. Quite often when you go to Aldi and you get some of those cheaper ones, I haven't enjoyed them so much. That Harper's ones that they did, and a bit wishy-washy and had no body to it. But that is enjoyable. I'm all behind here again. If there's an advert coming up in the middle of this live stream, that's nothing to do with me. Do you know what? I would never ever knock anyone trying to do a YouTube channel. I know how hard it is to do. And I'm certainly not the best out there doing video editing or everything. It was I have absolutely no background in film, editing, talking to camera, anything whatsoever. In fact, I actually remember when I was working for one of the jobs I did years ago, um, I worked for Canon, where to do one of the courses I did, you had to do a 1 minute presentation of about it was some junk you come up with, and I struggled like hell. I couldn't even talk for 1 minute in front of a camera. Camera pointed towards me, no chance whatsoever talking to it. Funny enough, this is easy to live stream because I look at my laptop all the time, and because I'm recording off the webcam on the laptop, because it's so used to just looking at the laptop anyway, it comes quite natural, And many times I swear at my laptop anyway because people say stupid things on it. You're quite used to talking to your laptop, aren't you? You stupid. What are you talking about? But yeah, yeah. I would never call anyone knobheads or anything like that. They're trying, and anyone that's trying out there, actually, some of them that are really out there trying, I actually prefer to watch. And I'll tell you why, because none of it's scripted, and I don't script anything. Um, I say what I think at the time, and for right or for wrong. The video I do Saturday, I had to edit a lot out because of some of the things I said, and I thought it might upset too many people. I wasn't in a very good mood at the time, shall we say, and I was tired, I was frustrated, and I was peeved off. So some of the stuff I said to camera at the time, I thought was a little bit too. I never swore on any of it. There's no swearing really going on in it. It was just perhaps wasn't diplomatically correct, or shall we say, it wasn't PC. So I had to cut it all out. It was what I was thinking at the time. Yeah, I gotta stop doing that. I'll get a YouTube ban. Right, sorry, I'm all behind on everybody's comments here. Right, characters on the YouTube channel talk about my stuff's all crap. No, it's not, Steve. You do some good stuff. I tell you what, Steve, when you was actually a lot of your when you was fitting out your boat, I picked up a few good ideas there when you was doing that. So you can't tell me it was crap. I was thinking it sometimes, but I just wish I had some of the tools Steve's got. It's funny, because I can see when I'm looking at um the chat, I'm looking actually the picture I'm getting on my screen is in the opposite direction to where the chat is. Well, thank you very much for that super chat there, is it? I use Brave browser, which blocks ads. So do this instead for ones I like. Oh, well, thank you very much, Claire. I'll tell you what, I did have. I still got Brave browser on my laptop here. The problem I found with Brave was it ran very slowly sometimes. May have been my internet connection. I still got it on my laptop because I was using Brave at one time. I did actually say I did have an ad blocker, but there's a way you can actually put these comments onto the screen. I don't know how to do it. No, I don't know. I'll have to learn more about how to do this. I was trying to put the Claire's super chat onto the screen, but it just comes up. If I click on it, it says report, remove, put user in timeout, hide user on this channel, add as moderator. So there's only one good thing on there, and I could add you as a moderator. I thought there's somehow you can add it and show it as a put the message up on the screen, but obviously not. So I don't know. I'm not very good at this stuff. No, I can't even get my chat list back. Oh, there it is. I've got it. Right, I've all behind here. No, you can leave it up there. The knobhead comment. You know, if that's what people think, that's what you think. And you know, I've been called worse than that myself, a many a time. I realise how the time's gone here. It's already 9:10. There are a lot of. It's quite odd on the boating channels. We're a different breed. I think most boaters are a bit of a different breed. I think most of us got fed up with the world as it is and sort of seek some solitude on the boat, not conforming to everything that goes on in the world. By that, I don't mean we're renegades or anything like that. I think we just got fed up with paying so many taxes for so many different things that we got no benefit out of. Things like council tax, you know, for instance, TV license tax, things like that. I have a TV. I use my TV, but I only stream on it, so I don't need a TV license anyway. And you try getting one on a boat when you've got no fixed abode. Can't even buy one if you wanted to. As I tried when I first bought the boats. Then I realised anyway, technically, because my boat is registered with my parents' address, and they have a TV license, although they're in their mid-80s, of course, now, but they have to buy a license again, of course, because that privilege was taken away from them for being over 75. So technically, I am licensed because you can view and watch TV away from your home address. Not if I watch TV. I stream occasionally some stuff. I have Amazon Prime and I stream stuff on there, but besides that, it's about it. Anyway, I got totally off track there, haven't I? I need another beer. We don't mind a few ads. Put the kettle on for a while. It bothers. Well, thank you, Willie. Hard work. I'd say it's living on a boat. People think you're on holiday all the time. It's okay. We get to see some wonderful places of the country. Totally agree. And I can move the boat every day of the week if I wish. Well, nearly every day of the week. Sometimes you get frozen in and you can't. But basically, I can move the boat whenever I wish. So, you know, people think that's being on holiday. Well, it's not being on holiday. An awful lot of work goes into just keeping the boat going. Especially like myself, I have an older boat. There's always something to do on the boat, and I will probably never, ever, ever run out of jobs. I've got so many jobs to do, it's unbelievable. But yeah, it's. Oh dear, this beer's gassy as well. This is why when I'm in a pub, I drink ales. Because otherwise, this happens all the time. Anyway, so the yeah, it's don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the lifestyle, and I really don't want to do anything else anymore. Since I've been living on my boat, I've been so happy. I sleep 10 times better. I always got to the point one day, back when I was living in the US some days, I didn't sleep for more than 2 hours a night. Just couldn't sleep. Now I've been on the boat, I sometimes sleep 10 hours. 10 hours! Normally it's about 7 or 8, but occasionally I just gone, gone. I think out in the fresh air every day, doing things every day, keeping your this time of the year, out collecting firewood, sawing it up, chopping it up. It's just, you just burn up so much energy. And it comes to bedtime, I was in bed actually last night. It's 9:15 now. I was in bed then, I think. Yeah, it's just a different lifestyle. I have had Marston's EPA. I haven't had Marston's EPA for years. Well, I assume it's the same EPA anyway. So I've seen the comments all gone around. Favourite canal side pub? I'll tell you my favourite canal side pub. And there's a couple that come very, very close. But this is going to be my favourite canal side pub because it's privately owned. It's a free house, privately owned. And it is the Blue Bell at Kidsgrove. And it's just a proper outright pub. They do sell food in there, but food is sort of second nature to it. Their beer and their ciders are number one. They have 6 L's on at all time, and normally 6 still ciders also on at all time, which they keep in the cellar, and they walk down into the cellar to fill up your glass and bring it back up. That's the ciders. The L's they have on the pump on cask. But yeah, and the prices in there are good as well. And the landlady, Jenna, absolutely lovely lady. And everybody that goes in there seems to be wonderful people. Beginning of May probably. And I walked in there, and there's a guy called Terry that lives a couple of doors away from the pub. And I walked into the pub, and he goes, "Oh, hi Trev, you're back in town. When do you get back in town?" And the last time I was in there was the August the year before. That's what you call a pub, where people recognise you as soon as you walk in the door, and the landlady did, and everybody in there, and you can sit down in there, and everybody talks. It's one of those places where there's no clickiness or anything like that. You sit down there. There's tables, stools at the bar. There's little tables by the bar. Sit down there, and if I sat on the table there where there's room for 4 people, you can guarantee if there's nobody else there, there'll be other people who turn up and sit down with you and just start chatting. And that's the sort of pub it is. So that gives me my number one pub of the network that I know. There are pubs which come very close. I like where I did the Beerstream from, the Bridge Inn at Brood. That is a great pub there. It's a Marston's pub, so it's sort of got some control over what the wonderful landlady, absolutely wonderful. So that's the reason why I love going in there, and the bar staff there are really good, and people in their chat as well, which is really nice. Going back from there, there's a lot of canal side pubs I like. There's a couple I can't remember the names of. I've been in the what's it called? The Big Lock. No, not the Big Lock. The King's Lock in Middlewich. They've always got good ales on in there, and it's always friendly as well. So yeah, there's some great canal pubs around. Unfortunately, we've lost a few as well, so that's not so good. But yeah, there are some good ones. Yeah, I never have an afternoon snooze, Claire, so it's probably why. But 10 hours is a not normal for me. I normally have my 7 or 8 hours these days. But as I say, I went through a period of time not sleeping more than 2 hours for a long time, and it wasn't doing me any good. That's why I say since I've bought the boat, I've been so much better off. Yeah, I don't like the King's Ransom. Only because it's the nearest to me. I thought the King's Ransom was a restaurant that sells beer. Do I ever get lonely? No, never. And I'll tell you what, people said that to me. Oh, you got to buy a boat. You're going to be so lonely, aren't you, living on a boat on your own? No, opposite. I tell you what's lonely is living in a house on your own in Illinois in the winter. And I worked, but come to weekends, I finished work at 4 o'clock on the Friday afternoon, or 4:30 on a Friday afternoon, I should say. I'm home before 5. I live literally 10 minutes away. And I wouldn't speak to anybody again until I went back to work on the Monday morning at 8 o'clock. That gets lonely sometimes. Weekends on your, it's so cold outside in the wintertime, snow 3 foot deep outside your back door sometimes and all this. You just didn't go anywhere. Okay, then actually after a while I did get to know some of the neighbours. So we'd walk round each other's house and perhaps have a few beers and watch some hockey and things like that. But at one point in time, I was lonely. Now, all I do is poke my head out the window in the morning or something like that. There's always dog walkers up and down the towpath, and everybody talks to boaters. It seems to be anyway. So people walking by, good morning, hello, how you doing? So it's not lonely. And boaters talk to boaters, especially if you get locks and things like that. It didn't take you twice as long to go for a set of locks. So there's a lot of people around because although they might help you out, you don't stop chatting. It's great. It's actually a great way of life. No, I don't. I don't want a dog or any pets. Simple answer to that one. Absolutely simple. Never have done. Never had a dog. Never wanted one. I love dogs. Don't get me wrong. I was out here this morning. I was outside on the towpath this morning. I was just getting some firewood in, and a lady walks down with a dog. The dog comes running up to me, and I'm there petting it and everything. And she says, "Oh, seems to like you." I said, "Oh, dogs always come up to me." So I don't know why. I said, I've never had a dog in my life, but I love dogs, and I'll always say hello to them all, as they come by. So yeah, I just don't want one. I'm perhaps too selfish to want one. I think they're too much of a tie. Yeah, they're also very expensive, and I don't have the money also for a dog. I would hate to have a dog and not to be able to, we got ill, not be able to afford to get it sorted out properly. And I wouldn't have the money. I wouldn't have the money to buy a dog or get a dog or feed a dog at the moment. Someone's been putting messages up. John, what your message is? Sorry, did I not read you? Or did you not want them up there? Say, I will try and catch up here. If I mistake your comments, I'm sorry. I do try and catch up. Yes, I do notice the difference between North and South pubs. Um, why do you think I spend most of my time in the northern half of England? I'm Hampshire born and bred. I was born in Winchester. So, but yeah, when I grew up, the local pubs never had a problem with. I went to all the local pubs, but I think actually back those days it was a little bit different. These days, as I say, I can. If you walked into if I walked in now, I believe in the pub where I lived, Basingstoke, people would look at you when you walked in and you might get questions and all this sort of thing, and they wouldn't really want to talk to you. If I walk into a pub north, most pubs, especially what I call pubs and not restaurants, big difference between what I class as a restaurant pub rather than a pub that sells food. The ones which put food first, no matter where you are in the country, are not my type of pubs. Especially sometimes you walk in and they don't even really, you can tell they don't even really want you in there. You know, if you can sit down somewhere, they'll poke you in some little corner somewhere out of the way. You can't even get near the bar half the time. They don't want anyone near the bar. And yeah, and I've walked into a pub before now, and there's not even anyone in there. And every table had reserved on. And I said, "Oh," I said, "somewhere to sit down." I said, "No, no, no, not if you're not eating." And what's up with people? Pubs are supposed to be there to serve beer, I thought. Now, I know they make probably more money on their food. I'm sure they do. But you've got to have, if you're going to be a pub, you've got to be able to at least look after your pub clientele. If you want to be a restaurant, and just advertise as being a restaurant. Then I won't walk in. But when I walk in, it's supposed to be a pub and it's a restaurant. I'm sorry. If I've ordered the beer first, I will pay for it, obviously, and I will drink it, and it'll be one and done. The Bluebell, I can't walk out sober, basically. They're definitely more friendly. I think you can get good beers anywhere in the country now, so that I'm not going to say is here or there, because most beers you can get they're moved around the country now, so you can get all sorts of beers everywhere. Exactly, exactly. If you want to go out to a restaurant, go to a restaurant. Don't go to a pub. Getting a snack. I don't even eat. I very rarely ever eat out. Well, number one, I can't afford to, and number two, I criticize everything I eat. So that's my biggest reason. Um, I always think I can cook better myself at home for the tenth of the price. I get that served up to me. Gee whiz, I've just paid 20 quid for that. I'm going to cook that for 2 quid. And it's not very good anyway. So I get wound up. So that's why I don't eat out. I assume that should be pubs, really. Bob should sell salty, greasy food only make you drink more. Uh, yeah. Oh, sorry, you put asterisk pubs. Yeah, you you corrected it. Made me laugh. Yeah, say it's different world pubs these days, aren't they? I remember the days you went to the pub to perhaps have a game of darts and get drunk, and try to get your opponent drunk so you could beat him at darts, or pool, or skittles, or bar billiards, or whatever you were playing at the time. Well, that's just coming up to an hour and a half now of talking a load of bollocks. And I think I'm going to wind this video up. I really appreciate you all joining me. It's been absolutely fantastic. It's nice to have a drink and company. And I'm going to go back to this one. Say goodbye with. Oh, cheers. So cheers, everyone. I appreciate you all joining me tonight. I will probably do another live stream. I'm not sure if I'll get another one in this year or the early parts of next year. We'll see how it goes. I've got to come up with something different to drink that I drink, because I don't drink lagers, remember? It would be pointless me doing a video on lagers, because I just go, yeah, I don't like that one. Yeah, I don't like that one. Yeah, I don't like that one. So it'd be a bit pointless and a bit of waste of money as well. Now, at least tonight I spent, I don't know, for a fiver on beer. Not too bad, is it? Oh, and Claire's paid for the beer. Look tonight, fiver and super chats. So yeah, it's a great chatting to everybody there. I wish you'd do more than one thumbs up. Thank you. It's been great chatting to everybody. Really appreciate it. Smartphone dumb user. Yeah, there's no such thing as a smartphone, is there? There really isn't. Yeah, we'll chat soon, Steve. Yeah, if you're around, perhaps we can meet up for a pint somewhere. Well, I'll tell you where I am anyway. No, I'll tell people where I am. It's no big deal. I am probably going to be. I've already spoken to Jordan, who's in the chat. Probably going to be in the wherever it is, the Greyhound, either tomorrow night or Friday night. It depends on the weather tomorrow. What's the hard? Hello, Lewis. Name just popped up. I haven't seen you in chat before. The hardest thing. Oh, Jordan's gone. Sorry. Sorry, Jordan. I missed your chat up there, but he's gone. Hardest thing narrowboating on your own. The iron lock on the Shropshire Union Canal. That is the hardest thing I've ever come across as a single-handed narrowboat, is to try and do the iron lock on the Shropshire Union Canal. It is not impossible, and I think I did suss out a way to do it on my own. But fortunately, I cheated and waited for somebody to come along and help me out. It wouldn't be so bad if there wasn't such a huge bywash coming out below it, which just throws your boat all over the place. So you can't sort of jump off before and sort of grab hold of anything because your boat's gone. Yeah, the iron lock on the Shropshire Union Canal is the worst thing I've ever come across, and I can't believe it gets away with health and safety. There's no lock ladder in it. It's actually quite dangerous. And that really would be a reason for me not to go back to Chester. Gee whiz, have another beer. That would be something that stopped me going to Chester again. Although I would, because I'd do the same again. I'd wait for somebody else to come along and help them through. All the other locks you can get two boats in because they're wide locks, except for that one. Because when they put the iron cladding over the top of the original brick lock, it made it too narrow for two boats to get in. But it was stopped to the subsidence where the walls kept collapsing because it was basically built on quicksand, I believe. So, yeah. Well, I guess I can work something out for the weekend, Steve. Anyway, I'm gonna. I have to say, I'm gonna wind this up. Yeah, work out for a beer with everybody that's I'm passing. And the reason I don't mind saying where I'm gonna be in the next couple of days, I'm not gonna be here for Christmas, so that's why I'm saying where I am in the next couple of days. I should be moving on. Cheers, Lee, and cheers, Steve, and cheers, Claire, and thank you very much, Claire and John, and everybody else that's been in live chat. I'm going to click the end stream as I drink some beer.